مرحبا كيفكم؟
مرحبا.
شو
كيفك
الأخبار؟
حبيبي؟
Hi everyone, Salim Barahmi here from PIPD. I want to welcome you to another episode of Dardashe, a series where we talk to amazing and inspiring Palestinians about their lives and the things they do. Today we're joined by Ameer and his lovely mom Nabila from the family behind the Bearded Bakers. It's great to have you both. How are you doing?
Thank you.
How are you holding up? How's the business holding up during COVID? I'm sure it's not easy times.
Hala, it's I'm sure like the rest of the world, it's really interesting times. Obviously with the Knafeh model, we had to make the most of this opportunity and get creative. So we look at this as an opportunity to do something that we couldn't normally do in usual circumstances. So it kind of forced us to get even more creative than usual. And so it kind of led to, I guess, pivoting the model a little bit. And I'm not too sure if you've seen on social media, but we created, I guess, the first of its kind drive-through with experiences. So we're now, the last 3 months, been doing this Knafeh drive-through concept, which is, alhamdulillah, it's been something really interesting and lots of learning out of it. And it's been fun. Obviously, still continuing to spread joy and fun. And like I said, we're still dancing on people's bonnets and things like that.
There's no shortage of creativity, and that's what I love about it. That's awesome. One thing I wanted to ask before we get to what you do and how you came to do it is, I know a lot of your family's in Lebanon, and I just wanted to make sure and check in.
We have a lot of family friends. Not so much direct relatives in Lebanon, but give me 1 second.
We've got a little dog, and
okay.
loves Ameer, and he doesn't feel right that Ameer is locked in the room and he's out.
He's out. Yeah, he wants
banging the doors and. Okay, Tabee, come and say hi. Okay, do you want to say hi?
Hi, Toby.
Say hi. Hi, Sam.
Toby's a beautiful dog.
So this is the newest. Hey, this is the barking baker actually.
Nice.
We've set up an Instagram for him.
Nice.
And he's our new mascot.
Amazing. Barking baker. I love that. Yeah, I just wanted to. So you have a lot of family friends in Lebanon and Beirut. Just wanted to check in, see how everybody was doing, and how people can help.
Just when we thought, like, obviously, with Corona, things couldn't get worse. Obviously, this tragedy in Beirut kind of took another shock, and we've been traveling to Lebanon every year for the last maybe 7 years. And so we've got a lot of, I guess, really close friends. And last year we actually did a tour in Lebanon. So we took Knafeh to Lebanon, and we were actually down at the ports this time last year.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, because we had to clear out of the container out of customs. So in that exact precinct, we were down there and spending a lot of time trying to clear the container from the port. So it definitely hit home with us. And, if it wasn't for Corona, we'd probably be in Lebanon this year.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's definitely close to our hearts and our prayers and our thoughts with everyone in Lebanon.
And we'll include some links to the video how people can help Lebanon and Beirut, different organizations doing great things as well. So I wanted to ask you both. You're a Palestinian family. You're in Australia. What's your story? How did you end up there?
Okay, I might get my mum to fill you in on that story. It's a bit of a love story.
Love story, all right.
We love love stories.
Well, actually, my parents here, they are Palestinian. They were born. My mom was born in Lid, and my father was born in Jaffa.
Oh wow!
And both they got married, and they were evacuated in the 1948. Actually, with those walkers, they left their homes and they left their belonging, and they walked to Ramallah from Jaffa to Ramallah in 1948 with 4 kids. And the youngest was 6 weeks, and the eldest was 5 years. So 4 kids walked with them to Ramallah, and they settled in Ramallah for a few months. And then my dad couldn't find a job there, or then they traveled to Jordan. They picked their belonging and they went to Jordan, and Dad joined the army, Jordanian army, and they settled in Jordan, and I was born in Jordan.
Okay.
I was born in 1952 with other 5 again. So 5 above me and 5 under me. One of 11 people in the house. With mom and dad, 13 people. So we were a big family, and my parents came from big family as well too. So imagine we had cousins in dozens and in Jordan, and yeah. So yeah, we settled in Jordan, and I was educated, like going to school in Jordan. And then we wanted to move to Australia, but we didn't know how to move to Australia. My dad was not happy in Jordan, and he wanted to move for a better life and for my brothers. And we had four boys in the family and 7 girls. So some of them, they were married, 2, 3, they were married, and my dad wanted to move and take the whole family to Australia. He had an uncle who lived in Australia, and he sent him a letter, and he said, I want to bring my family and I want to come to Australia.
Yeah.
Better life and all this. The uncle was reluctant in bringing and be responsible for a whole family. It's not easy, we understand that. Yeah, to be responsible for a big family. And for boys, we thought we send the boys first, but he said, so we sent photos, we sent everything. And the uncle, what he did, he's got a son, and he said to him, well, I've got all these photos, pick which one you want.
The days before Tinder.
Yeah. We didn't know that, Mom.
Yeah.
So the son and the mom came to Jordan, and we met in Jordan, and I was doing my HSC at that time. And and he asked me to marry him, and we got married, and we came for a honeymoon here.
Love story indeed.
Yeah, and then I started doing all the paperwork for all my brothers and my sisters, and I was anxious to do that.
Yeah, I can imagine. I wanted to ask you, you raised, I mean, an incredible family in Australia. How, as a mother who's Palestinian, who was, probably connected to Palestine while you were in Jordan, and it was a very recent experience, that of expulsion, etc. How do you keep your family connected to Palestine and the identity? And
my husband was very, very active Palestinian. He was in the Palestinian Association. He was the head of the Palestinian Association at one stage, and they were very, very active. We did a lot here. مظاهرات نطلع يعني we didn't stop. We did fundraising for Palestine many times. We actually had even a lot of people coming from Palestine, and we met them here and we accommodate them here. So we were pretty active with the Palestinian and all the Palestinian around us, and my parents, they didn't speak Arabic English at that time. So it helped a lot for the kids to pick up the Arabic language and the culture.
Imagine.
We were very lucky, actually.
That's fantastic. So, I mean,
that's helped.
Yeah. I mean, what were your first memories of Palestine as a kid? How did you get exposed to it right away?
Well, I used to stand at home. I remember because my father was very heavily involved in I guess the politics of it and what was happening back home. And so I remember as a young kid, we would go to marches and rallies. And I remember from the age of 4, I think my brother and I, we thought we were freedom fighters. So we used to call out "Bilalo, freedom fighter." So from a young age.
Yeah, they were 3 and 4, and they were going around the neighborhood saying "freedom fighter, PLO."
So it was embedded in us. it was part of our upbringing. So for us, even when I hear the word Palestine, it's got to, obviously, it's very emotional,
Yeah.
and it's
home for us.
100%. I've never been back home to Palestine, but it'll always be home.
We need to get you over. We need to get you to visit.
No.
That's the dream. Obviously, my mum's been, my brothers, most of my family have been.
Yeah.
But I haven't.
Yalla, we'll wait for you. Don't be
I was waiting to meet you guys first.
Let's discuss out the situation.
Yeah.
Maybe you can help.
Exactly. And so I wanted to ask, was food a big part of, I know food for every Palestinian family is such a big part of home, the family experience, etc. Was that as well? I can imagine.
Yes.
Growing up, my parents were always entertaining. Till now, it's who we are, And so, obviously, coming from a Palestinian family, my mum and my dad were always cooking and entertaining. Our front door, honestly, would never even be locked, And so it was,
we always have people over.
And coming from a big family as well, like
people.
Family get-togethers, food, hospitality, it was, a big part of our upbringing, and still is.
Yeah, and I guess that's how you transitioned eventually to the bakery and Knafeh and the experiences. I'm sure that.
Mia.
So a lot of your experience at home and the hospitality and hosting people as part of a big family, did that inspire your work with the bakery and the bearded bakers and Knafeh?
It inspired us from a young age because my brother and I, Joey, who's currently running Knafeh in Melbourne, that's why he couldn't join us tonight. We started, I guess, scrubbing dishes in cafes, just to have a part-time job. And it kind of just went from there. We started working front house as servers, and we realized, hey, this is cool. Like we get paid to entertain people. Because for us, it was like we did it at home. And so getting, obviously having, making pocket money, doing something that you love and something that comes very naturally to you, became a bonus. So hospitality for us, it was never meant to be a career. I went on to do architecture and my brother did real estate, but hospitality was not what we did. It was kind of who we were. Mm-hmm. And so only looking back now, we've realized that hospitality, I guess, is at the core of everything that.
And that was a fun-loving guy too. We always had people over. He'll pick up and dance and just even in the house. And he would.
my dad was a man for a people's person, man for the people.
Yeah.
Cared and loved people, brought people together. He was always counseling people, counseling couples.
Yes.
So like having people around, we were very comfortable with people.
That's really lovely. And so why Knafeh?
Well, that's a whole different conversation. So fast forward 20 years, we got to a stage in our life where we thought, hey, we've been running other people's restaurants and cafes. Mm-hmm. We can do this for ourselves. And so we did. We took that leap of faith. We took the risk, and we started just running our own little cafes and restaurants. And for me, coming from an architecture background, I guess our venues became my creative outlet. Because I kind of given up working in an architecture firm, and we fell into hospitality. And I even remember my mum asking, she goes, you studied 6 years to work in cafes. And so a lot of people thought that I'd given up architecture, which I actually didn't. I was just expressing it in a different way. So over the years, we've kind of used our venues as a creative outlet. And I guess creating experiences for people. And then it was through one of our restaurants called Shisha, one of the family restaurants that we have, where we started experimenting with a lot of family recipes.
Because we had a Middle Eastern restaurant, and we wanted to do a dish. And one day Ameer came and he said, Mom, we want a dish to represent us. So we start making different type. And as a Palestinian, you only think of Knafeh first. And the Knafeh El-Issa, طبعا.
Absolutely.
So it came first to my mind to do the Knafeh El-Issa because it wasn't really very popular here. Knafeh was not very, very popular at all. Like, if you want to go and have a knafeh, you'll have to look for a place.
Yeah.
Like we're talking a while ago, not like now.
Yeah.
So I thought we will do the knafeh nabisi and we'll put it on the menu. So we did, but the knafeh nabisi is, if it's not fresh every day and every dish, it's really hard.
Yeah, it has to be
So
eaten. Yeah.
has to be eaten freshly. It's nicer that way.
Yeah.
So we thought, we tried it, and if I'm not around, so the chef didn't want to do it the way we do it, and they're not going to do it exactly the way you do it anyway. So we played around with the dish, and it didn't work to make it fresh every time to serve. So we came up with another one, the collage.
Yeah.
We did the collage too. That was really, really good too. That was much easier. But then we thought we want something, a dish, to call it shisha, which is the name of the restaurant. Want to call it a shisha dessert. And I came up with this knafeh because my mom used to make something but similar, but not like that. Halawat al-smeed, halawat al. And I thought we can make it in a different way. So we practice with doing that, and that's how it is.
And yours is I when I watch your videos, it's much creamier. It's
like a warm creme brulee.
It's a different knafeh altogether.
Yeah.
It's cooked and baked.
It's made fresh to order.
Fresh to order.
It's a 2-step cooking process. So the first step, how we've been able to scale the business is actually, so we put it on as a special.
Yeah, we put it on a special.
And people really liked it. So we kept doing it. And then it became like a staple menu item. And then people started finding out about it. So, at the time, social media was starting to take off. So people would call up the restaurant and go, we heard about your knafeh, would like to come and have dinner and try it afterwards. Or some people would actually call up and say, do you do takeaway? And so the takeaway side of things started to escalate, and actually got really busy on takeaway. And at the time, we're serving them in these ceramic plates. We didn't have any takeaway packaging. And so we'd give them the ceramic plate and just say, just bring the plate back when you're done.
That's how it is.
You make it do. And some people return the plate and some people wouldn't.
People don't.
And so the takeaway side of things escalated, and it got to a stage where it started putting a little bit of pressure on the restaurant. And it's hard running a takeaway business when you've got a busy restaurant as well, because we only had the one oven, and opening and closing the oven, you lose a lot of heat. It's hard to work with chefs in the best of times. So, it was a very challenging time, and I guess we just kind of put in a position where we had to alleviate the pressure off the restaurant. And I think it's probably at that point my two worlds collided in terms of, I guess, my passion for architecture and hospitality. And
but the whole time that he was studying at uni, he was talking about shipping container.
Oh, so for many years, yeah.
For many years.
Yeah.
He wanted to do his own office, and I looked at him and it's like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, what's shipping container? And he said, maybe my house is going to be shipping container too. I said, oh my God, I've heard a lot.
So for about 10 years, inspired by my architecture degree, I wanted to do something with a shipping container. And Mara, 10 years, and I didn't know I knew that I wanted to do something with a shipping container, but
he doesn't know why.
I didn't know why.
Mm-hmm. And then it all came together.
And then, with the demand of the restaurant, like I said, I think that's where my two worlds really collided. And it was just a side project, for me. And, I started working on the concept and built it down the road from the restaurant. And I just took people on a journey with me. I'd run the restaurant at night and build this shipping container bakery during the day. And every night I would show our customers what I'm working on.
What about the first time when you came with the key and you said to me, I bought a bakery? And I said, a bakery? He said, come on, I'll show you the bakery. He took me to the shipping container. And
this big steel green, rusted.
Rusted, looks terrible. I said, what are you going to do with this? He said, I'm going to turn it into a bakery. And Ameer started growing his beard and Joey started growing his beard, and I said, food and beer, like it doesn't go
So
together.
I bought the shipping container before I told any of my family because I knew they're going to try to talk me out of it.
Nice.
So I kind of wired Hali before, and then, and then I told him. And I think my mum got excited because she wanted to do all these Middle Eastern sweets. Like
Yeah, we got
goulash and
excited.
banana.
I thought he's gonna open a bakery where we can serve few types
Like everybody else.
of Palestinians, Palestinians dessert and sweet. But when he said to me, just the Knafeh, I said, just the Knafeh? Who's gonna come and eat the Knafeh? Like, I tell you what, I underestimate the whole thing.
You raised them well. You raised them well.
I raised them well.
So where did the dancing and the experience and the music and the tabla and the DJ, where did that all come in? How did that transform?
Us. That's how we do it at home anyway.
It kind of evolved with time, Obviously, when we first launched, for us, we're always obviously creating experiences in all our businesses. We're very heavily focused on creating experiences for people. But when we first launched, it wasn't at the level that we are.
No, but Joey was moving around and jumping.
Oh, 100%. Definitely music was a big part of it.
Joey is very, very active too. Like he can't stand still. Even if there is no music, he'd be dancing. So it's in them.
So the whole concept obviously was inspired by creating experience. And then I guess over the years, as we've brought, bakers involved with the, as the team's grown as well, everyone's brought their own little flair to it as well. And it's kind of naturally evolved and progressed. And I don't think, to be honest, even myself, I don't think anyone expected to, looking back 6 years on, we've been incredibly blessed, to do one product with no sizes, no variations. So the only thing people tell us is how many they want. So there's no menu.
Yeah.
So it's, a lot of people, there's a lot of people asking a lot of questions about how we've gotten away, just serving this one product, and Nushkud Allah, the brand's stronger than ever. No. And we still feel like we've got so much to offer. Like we still feel like we're warming up. And, with God's grace, we get to do what we love and showcase, the Palestinian culture in a way that hasn't been done before.
Yeah. And that's what I actually wanted to ask you a bit more about. We, as Palestinians, as Arabs, there's a lot of stereotypes and, misperceptions about who we are and what we want and what we do and what we're like. And the experiences you're creating, you're engaging with people through food and music is really breaking down a lot of those images. How is your experience in that, and especially in Australia?
It's very interesting. We focus, I think a lot of people make them, especially in the Middle Eastern culture, especially with their business, is that they all make the same mistake of saying, hey, I'm Lebanese, this is what I do. I'm Palestinian, this is what I do. I'm Christian, and this is what I do. Or I'm Muslim, and this is what I do. Everyone starts with their political or religious belief. And I'm thinking, why? Like, what's your religious or political views got to do with your business? So with us, what we did, we just focus on being the best at what we do. And when people ask us, who are you guys? Go, we're Palestinian. And there's that magical moment right there, Instead of putting it in people's face saying, hey, this is who I am and what I do. No, we focus on being the best in our field. And when people go, who are you guys? We go, we're Palestinian. They go, my God, wow. How inspiring. And that's what our focus is focusing on being on the edge of the curve, being innovative. Like I said, showcasing, the Palestinian culture in a unique, innovative and creative way. And like I said, we've been incredibly blessed that, with the people that we've met on our journey.
Absolutely.
And we get inspired from other people and people get inspired from us.
And the traveling we did too.
And, it's gone beyond Sydney now. So we're in Sydney, Melbourne, New York. We launched Beirut last year. Hey, you never know. Next stop, Palestine.
Hello, Sahla.
Yeah,
Inshallah.
Just let us know. Let us know. No, it's so amazing to watch. I remember coming across one of your videos a couple of years ago for the first time and seeing the dancing and the Knafeh and the music. And it was amazing to see as a Palestinian in Palestine that we're showcasing in a culture through its most beautiful aspects, right? Without having to, as you say, put it in the face of people. And everything beautiful about it draws everyone else in. So I wish you nothing but success and amazing things. So let us know what comes next. What's next on your plate?
So there's a few. So we had two real signature dishes at the restaurant, and we're gonna give you a bit of an insight that not many people know as yet.
We
But
love
we-
an exclusive.
And we're really happy to probably share this. So yeah, we had two beautiful dishes that we had at the restaurant, which people loved. One of them was the knafeh, and there's another one that you might know. It's called shish barak.
Oof.
So we the last couple of years we've been working on this incredible concept. It's called shish barak. So think of a Middle Eastern dumpling house.
Mhm.
So inspired by actually Asia and not the Middle East. Inspired by all the Asian dumpling houses around Asia. We're going to do our own twist to that, and I guess do a Middle Eastern interpretation, like a Middle Eastern dumpling concept.
Amazing. Are you doing
So
the
the concept,
Lebanon as well?
yeah. So
Yeah.
but we're also experimenting with other flavors.
Nice.
So not just
But we're doing the
not just in Lebanon.
traditional one as well,
Mm.
and we build it up to other flavors as well too.
Amazing. That's genius.
So with God's grace and the passion for food and people, like it's about really enjoying what you do.
Absolutely.
It really starts with that, and that's for us. That's what success is: doing things taking on projects that we're passionate about, because it becomes a win-win. When you're doing what you love, it becomes a win-win, and then whatever comes your way is God's grace. And like I said, it's not just driven by numbers. If you build it on strong passion, I think the results will come.
Absolutely.
A lot of people just are driven by the wrong things these days.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Well, listen, if you don't make it to Palestine first, I'll come to Australia and I'll taste.
Yeah, Habibi.
Oh well.
Yalla, البيت جاهز.
Tislam, Habibi, Tislam. It's been amazing chatting with you guys. It's been so lovely, and what an inspiring story. And thank you for celebrating the beauty of Palestinian culture.
Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless you, boys.